And listen to me very closely. I'm telling you from personal experience. I know what my life was like when I put in 55. I know what it was like when I didn't try. I know what my life was like when I didn't care. I know what my life was like when I didn't have any dreams or any goals. Like I didn't want anything. I know what my life was like. Now I'm putting in 120, baby. I'm putting in 120. Look at it. I'm putting in 120 and my life is sweet. My wife's life, my kids' life, my mama's life. Listen to me, my father. I'm in a Detroit Free Press and my parents are proud. Are you hearing me? When you put in 120, not only does it affect your life, it affects your family's life. It affects your friend's life. It affects your community's life. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? So I need you to do me a huge favor. Yep, this one is different. This one is the call of action. All right, I'm gonna put you on a 21-day challenge. I'm challenging you. If you listen to me, if you ain't brave enough to challenge yourself, if you ain't courageous enough to challenge yourself, I'm challenging you. I'm challenging you to get from where you are. I'm challenging you to stop settling. I'm challenging you. I'm challenging you. I'm challenging you to stop accepting the life that was given to you. And I'm challenging you for 21 days. I'm challenging you to give 120%. Are you hearing me? I'm challenging you now. And I want somebody at the end of this 21 day, I need somebody to send me a video. I need somebody to send me a video and just show me, E.T., you were 100% right. Like I put in 120% for 21 days. I did not fatigue. I did not give up. I did not give in, E. I did exactly what you told me to do, E. And look, boom, things changed. Like my marriage changed. My classroom changed. As a basketball player, my team changed. As a coach, the way my team responds, it changed, E.T., 120%. I want you to stop giving 70, stop giving 80, stop giving 90, and you deserve to see what would happen if you gave 120%. All right. So a couple things I need you to do on this 21-day challenge, right? The first thing I need you to do for me is I need you to have a vision. I need you to have a vision of when you get to that 21 days, what do you want? What do you want to happen after that 21 days? What is dying in your life? Look, right now, what does mediocrity look like in your life? Look, what does defeat look like in your life? What are limitations? What are boundaries look like in your life? In 21 days, this won't look like it. My marriage won't look like this. My grades won't look like this. Are you hearing me? We're going to be better as a team. Our outcomes are going 21 days. I challenge you 21 days to first cast a vision. What will your life look like after those 21 days? Listen to me. Do me a huge favor. 21 days. Do it right or don't do it. Yep, you heard what I said. For the next 21 days, do it right or don't do it. Stop half doing stuff. Stop putting forth 50% effort, 60%. Look, stop. Do it right or just don't do it at all. Are you hearing me? Do it right. And when I start doing it right, that second book, Greatness is Upon You, look through it. I did it right. I wasn't just writing a book. I did it right. If you kinetic learner, listen to me very closely. If you got to touch stuff, I put it in there. I went with the whole thing, guys. All right, I just didn't go half doing it. Look through the book. The artwork is in there. The work stuff is in there, so you can work it through. Everything is in there. I didn't half do it. I did it right. Look at our videos. We don't half do them. They free, but we don't half do them. Do it. Number 2, do it right or don't do it at all. Number 3, listen to me. No 21 days. No excuses. Only adjustment. No excuses. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear good excuses, good reasons, what happened, why you couldn't do it. I don't want to hear it. Everybody got an excuse. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear anything about this happening. The weather wasn't right, and get the finances, and this didn't come through when it was supposed to. Well, that person didn't. No. Number 3 things, guys. Number 1, cast a vision, 21 days. So when you get tired, you can keep looking at that vision. Do it right or do not do it at all. Are you hearing me? And finally, guys, no excuses, just adjustments.
We've been going through several stages. We talked about self-awareness. Who am I? Asking that central question in one's life. Looking at your strengths and your weaknesses. Getting some evaluation, determining what it is you want out of life. Then we went to the next level of self-approval. Approving yourself to do the things that you like to do. And going after the dreams that you like to go after. And we know when we don't approve of our dreams because of the fact that they stay up in our minds. We don't act on them. We procrastinate. We come up with a variety of excuses on why we're not going into action. And then the next level is what? Self-commitment. Going for that dream. Going for those goals. Deciding to do the things that are necessary to bring about the changes that we want to bring in our lives or what we want to bring in society. And then after that, we are now to this level. And this stage is what? self-fulfillment. Because when you are involved in commitment, when you are implementing your plan of action, you're going to produce some results. You're going to have some victories that you can feel good about. And it's a time of celebration. So what happens when you hit the level of self-fulfillment? First of all, what we want to know is that self-fulfillment is unending and should be viewed in that context. Robert Schuller says it best when he says success is never ending. So that means that we never get to a level where we feel that there's nothing else for us to do, that we've achieved certain number of goals and we figure that we're through. No. You don't want to stay there and celebrate too long like a lot of people do. When they do something they consider outstanding, they go around talking about what they used to do. See, let me tell you, I used to do this and I used to do that. Excuse me, used to be's don't make no honey. What are you doing now? What have you done for me lately? You know, go around telling me about what you used to do and who you used to be. What does that count for now? Nothing. What are you doing now? You're still here breathing. That means you've got some more to give. Doesn't matter how old you are, doesn't matter about where you are, doesn't matter about what you have, doesn't matter about what you've done. Life is about growing, it's about being productive, it's about stretching, it's about challenging yourself. So you start looking around and decide, hey, what else do I want to do? What got me here? It's a time for celebration, but also a time for reflection. What got me here? What worked? What did not work? What do I need to do to repeat so that I can get the same kind of results in other areas of my life? If the goal is to improve my health, if the goal is to improve my relationship, if the goal is to improve my income, if the goal is to improve something in society, what is it I need to do? Now, don't get confused with what you do with who you are. Don't trip. Don't go on some type of ego trip about talking about how bad you are. None of us do anything by ourselves. Develop an appreciation for external support as well as good fortune, because all of those things play a role. The other thing is, don't go overboard celebrating. Kipling says it best. You must meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same. You look at it, hey, I did it. I feel good about that. Now you're moving on to the next thing. Things did not work out the way you wanted them to work out. You didn't produce the results you wanted to produce. Hey, miss that. Win some, you lose some. Next, moving right on. Don't confuse who you are with what you do. Let's go on to the next level, looking in that particular area. You return to the area of self-assessment. You start looking at yourself and evaluating yourself. Now, what are some of the elements or the characteristics or the qualities of people who are fulfilled, who live a life of fulfillment? What are some of the things we can look at about them? I think, number one, make your mind fertile ground for the seeds of opportunity. I think if you want to experience a sense of fulfillment, you've got to have an open mind so that ideas can come in there and take root and grow. So part of beginning to have fertile ground, you know, you got to break that ground up. You got to break up that hard crust. Because if you don't, seeds will fall there and the wind can blow them away, the winds of doubt. When you're set in your mind and you refuse to grow and you're not open to new ideas, new methods, new ways of doing things, if your mind is already fixed, you become stagnant. You can't grow. You can't have a sense of fulfillment. You become extremely cynical and negative about everything. You know it all. So you want to begin to look at life and have a sense of curiosity, not know it all. You want to keep learning, keep growing. Realize that we had a theme. You never find out how much you know until you find out how little you know. And there are some people you can't tell anything. They have all the answers. Oh, I've already done that. Larry DeAndrew was telling me, he said he was on a plane and he was observing two men talking, and the guy was reading a magazine. He looked at the guy next to him and said, would you like to read this magazine, share this magazine I have? No, I read that before. Don't like it. Don't like it. Okay. So he had a newspaper. He said, what about the USA Today? No, I read that before. Don't like that either. Tried that once. Don't like that. So they served him some food, and he said, would you care to have anything I have here? Because the guy wasn't eating. No, tried that before. I don't like that. And he noticed this guy only had one child. He said, what Larry was trying to say is that a lot of people go through life prejudging things. Yeah, how many of you don't like buttermilk? Raise your hands, please. How many of you raise your hands and never taste buttermilk, please? And I'm one of them. I just don't like the way it looks, all right? I might be missing out on something, all right? So many of us count ourselves out of things prematurely. You don't know what the possibilities are up in there. So you want to be open, you want to continue to learn, you want to continue to grow, you want to begin to know that there are unlimited ideas out here waiting for you to latch on to them. And if you don't take advantage of them when they come your way because you're so closed-minded, do understand somebody else will. And we've all had ideas that we did not act on and looked around and somebody else had the idea and gone with it. So be open and receptive. Next thing, in order to live a fulfilling life, become involved in life. Live your fantasy. Most people go through life not living their fantasy, sitting up in the bleachers, looking out on the field, looking out into the arena, wishing that they were down there, just fantasizing, seeing themselves running with the ball. I used to do that. I used to always see myself at a basketball game. 1 second to go, Les Brown comes down court. He looks to his right, looks to his left. He's the only one that can do it. Dush, the basket goes in. Les saved us. And people picked me up and carried me off. But I never went out and did it. Decide to live your fantasy.